Well, we just got a new trailer for The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and I just had to come on here and talk about it because ever since this trailer came out yesterday, I've been thinking about this game. Look, I was already excited about it a few months ago when it was announced in the Nintendo Direct. I was excited about this game before it was announced. Just thinking about the idea of a new 2D Zelda on the Switch got me excited. And then obviously my wish was granted in that June Direct. And ever since then, I haven't been able to get this game off my mind. And Nintendo just increased my hype by 1,000 with this new trailer they released. And my main takeaway is just how big this game looks. I mean, you compare it to Link's Awakening, which was the last 2D Zelda we had on the Switch. It's not even a comparison. This game is so much larger than that game. And obviously, Link's Awakening is a remake of a Game Boy game, so we expected Echoes of Wisdom to be way bigger than that game was. But it is seemingly in the same engine as Link's Awakening and made by the same developers as Link's Awakening. So I'm still a little shocked at how big this game looks, right? They show a picture of the map when they're talking about travel waypoints, and only part of it is unlocked in the picture we see. But just looking at the map, it looks huge. And I think there might be more of the map up that we don't see. You see on the bottom of the map, there's that kind of, I don't know, like fraying on the bottom. So it doesn't seem like it goes further down, but I think it probably goes further up too, and maybe further left and right. In fact, I think you see a little rift on the edge of the left part of the map that we see in the trailer. There's a little rift peeking out on the side. So the world in Echoes of Wisdom seems huge, and that is super exciting, right? Like, I was wondering how Nintendo was going to follow up these huge open world 3D Zeldas we got with a 2D Zelda. How are they going to make this game seem worth $60 after we just got this huge 100-hour Zelda game, which was a sequel to another huge 100-hour Zelda game? And look, this isn't going to be a 100-hour game more than likely, and it doesn't need to be, but it's going to be a game with a lot to do and a lot to discover, and that's all I could ask for from a 2D Zelda following Tears of the Kingdom. Speaking of things to do, there's also side quests in this game, which is awesome. There's a quest log where you can track your quests. Some people might think of that as busy work, but as long as I'm enjoying a game, I'm willing to do whatever, just to spend a little more time in the world, get more engrossed in the world, and meet more of its people. So this is perfect for me. They showed one side quest in the game where you had to bring a slime echo to a villager and like show them that it existed, and that's amazing. That's such a smart idea to like use as a side quest, playing off of this echo concept. It reminds me of Pokemon Legends Arceus, of all things, where you had to bring different Pokemon to different villagers. Just a really fun way to use that main gimmick outside of, the main game's traversal or combat. Speaking of traversal, you can ride a horse in this game. I mean, that alone makes this game worth it. It's a $60 AAA game just because you can ride a horse in a 2D Zelda game. But seriously, this looks super fun. Once you get the carrot echo, you can bring out the horse anywhere, which I appreciate. That was one of my problems with the horses in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, is that you had to get them from a stable, which made them kind of a hassle to bring out and use. That, combined with the fact that they aren't a very good mode of transportation in that game, made them kind of useless. In this game, though, they seem really practical because there's not a Master Bike Zero or whatever like there was in Breath of the Wild. And again, you can bring them out wherever you want and use them as a method of traversal. It looks awesome. It almost looks like too fun, like maybe it'll be a little too easy to get around, but considering how big this world is, I don't really think that's an issue. It's just good that there's a fun way to traverse the world, right? You don't have to walk around. Yes, there are travel waypoints, which again is an amazing addition to this game, but it's nice to just have something that allows you to prance around Hyrule in a fun and fast way. And like, horses are great. And the horse in this game, the chibi horse design, is really cute. So awesome. Great addition. But I think we're burying the lead here, and I'm going all over the place right now. I think it's time to talk about the main reveal of this trailer, the second ability, Bind. It definitely has a lot of similarities to the Ultra Hand of the last game, even down to the fact that it's green. But basically what the Bind is that you can select an item on the overworld or one of your echoes and move with it. So they show in the trailer you could use this to get a big rock out of the way, or you could use it to fly by mimicking a bird, or you could use it to crawl up trees by mimicking a spider. It's just a super fun ability, and it leans into the puzzly nature, I think, of 2D Zelda that I think some people were concerned, okay, you can craft an echo of anything, anywhere. Is this just going to be Minecraft Zelda now? Is there going to really be these puzzling challenges in the dungeons and in the overworld like we're used to? I think there will be, and I think an ability like this really showcases that. There's a lot of creative ways that you could use these abilities. They showed a lot, but I feel like there's going to be so many different ways that you could use Bind to get around the world or solve a puzzle. I also thought, like I mentioned earlier, it's so cool that you can use the two abilities in tandem. You can make an echo and then bind to it to move around or climb or whatever. There's just such good synergy with these different abilities, and they're both really interesting, so I'm really excited to try them out when this game comes out. I also wonder if there's an ability or two that they're not showing us. They call Bind another ability, so that could mean that, those are your two abilities, or it could mean that it's another one of the abilities that you have, and that they're not revealing all of the abilities until the game comes out, or at least until they have a trailer closer to release. Part of me says no way they would hide big features like that just a month out from release. But then the other part of me remembers that they hid the whole underworld of Tears of the Kingdom from us. So I think when it comes to Zelda, they're not afraid to hide big parts of the game from us, right? Maybe it's not going to be by way of another ability. Maybe it's going to be in another way, like the rifts, which I'll get to in a second. But either way, I think there's a lot to be excited about just in terms of what we don't know, which is crazy because they've shown us so much to be excited about. Speaking of those rifts, they tease them at the end of the trailer, and they kind of leave it up to mystery. They say, well, if you want to find out the mystery of these rifts, you got to buy the game when it comes out. So I wonder what exactly they're hiding here. I don't think it's going to be like in Tears of the Kingdom, where they hid a whole underworld from us that was a whole map in of itself. I don't think that's going to be the case. That would be insane, and I guess they have done that before, so there's precedent, but I don't think it's going to be like that. I think maybe the rifts will act as kind of paths to the dungeons, right? Instead of walking into a dungeon, you'll just jump down into a rift instead. It's definitely up in the air, but I'm really excited that Nintendo is hiding some stuff from us. They have a tendency to overshare when it comes to these big games, so I'm glad they're keeping some stuff a mystery. I think they learned when Tears of the Kingdom came out that it was a good idea to keep some stuff under wraps because everyone was super shocked when they found out about the underworld. I know I was stunned. So it definitely just heightens my excitement level, which I didn't know was possible, but they did it. Some other small things in this trailer that I wanted to get to. I think this equipment system is really cool. It's yet another thing they've taken from the 3D games and put into 2D Zelda. It's kind of like Paper Mario's badge system almost, where you only have a certain amount of slots, so you have to weigh, which addition do I want the most? Do I want dive time up? Do I want an extra heart? Do I want more jump power, which was one of them and kind of confused me because how much are you jumping in this game? I don't know. But it's just another addition that makes the gameplay more varied, and it also allows you to customize your very own Zelda, because it seems like these accessories, at least the clothing, maybe not the accessories, are going to carry over into the game, and Zelda is going to have different outfits and different designs depending on what you equip, which is awesome. That was one of the sneaky cool things about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, is that there were so many armor sets and you could dye them and do all that stuff. You could really make your own character within Link, which I thought was really sick. And clearly they're bringing that over to this, so that looks really cool. I also just love seeing all the different races of Hyrule in this trailer. We don't usually see a lot of them in 2D Zeldas, like the Gerudo, for example. I think that's the first time we've seen them in a 2D Zelda. I love the little chibi design for them. It's very funny to go from the very serious, stoic design of Breath of the Wild to this chibi design in Echoes of Wisdom, but they look awesome. It's really cool that they brought back the River Zora and that they have some beef with the Sea Zora. That's really cool. That'll be fun to dive into. Oh, and the Gorons. I love the Gorons chibi design is amazing. It's so cute. I love it. Yeah, I think there's kind of a theme in all the different editions I've talked about, right? This is a 2D Zelda game that's taking so many ideas from 3D Zelda. And that's something that 2D Zelda has done before, but I don't think 2D Zelda has ever taken this much inspiration from 3D Zelda. And look, to each their own, there might be some 2D Zelda purists who don't want to see this happen, and I understand that. But for me, I love it. I love 3D Zelda. I've always liked it more than 2D Zelda, no offense. So to see them still keeping the spirit of 2D Zelda alive, but bringing in these 3D elements to make it more of a creative and dynamic experience just sounds awesome. And overall, I just cannot wait for this game. I can't believe it's coming out next month. That's the craziest thing, is that they revealed this only a few months ago. It's this huge game, and it's already coming out in September. I just can't wait. It's going to be a great last few months of the year for video games in general, and it's going to get started with a bang with Echoes of Wisdom. But those are my thoughts on the trailer. It's been living rent-free in my head for the past few days, so I had to come on here and give my thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you like these additions? Are you excited for the game? Let me know. Like the video, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But with all that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.